Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing fine. In this video we want to continue the series of how to build an Aikido class. So some ways we do it in our dojo, we build up our classes so that they make sense to the students. And today we want to look at weapons classes. So what would we do, how would we start a weapons class and then continue building up for more advanced things towards the end. So stay with us watching for a couple of minutes.
Okay, so let's talk about a few different ideas of how you can build up a weapons class. And you might want to start, first of all, by bowing in with your weapon and even just starting a warm-up with the weapon. So for example, we have a Jo. We actually already have a video about warming up with weapons, and you can check that out with the link below. So you could start off with a warm-up. Following that, you may want to do some sort of simple exercises, maybe some solo exercises like suburi. So you might begin with some Jo suburi. You might begin with a couple of different ones that would be relevant to the class. So we might begin, for example, just with kind of a choku-ski here. Kaishitsuki. Shirotsuki. So a couple of ones that maybe beginners can learn. Eventually you might want to do one that pertains or is related to what you might work on later on in class. And in this case, we might start with the Toma Uch. Okay? So we begin in ski kamai, and we move back behind the head. Large movement. And just working slowly until everybody feels comfortable with the movement. So that way, once everybody has this sort of vocabulary in their system, then you can work on maybe larger practices together. So when we have that, then we might work together with a partner, for example, on a kumijo. So now we're going to work on a combat sequence together that has structured movement. Okay? So we're going to work on what's called the Yonno Kumijo, the fourth kumijo. And as we begin, we're going to work on just step by step. So I'm going to ask my partner to be in ski kamai. I'm going to start in Jo kamai. And when he begins, we're going to start really just step by step. I let him attack, and then I take my response. Okay? Then I get to do my attack, and he gets to do his response. Okay? Finish. Then he gets to do his attack, and I get to do my response. So we really work on it step by step until everybody feels comfortable with all the different movements. You have nice pauses in between so that you can adjust, and you feel comfortable working with the Jo and the distances with that. Okay, it could be a bokken as well, or even the tanto. So then eventually we want to work up to doing it more in a fluid manner. So then once people are experienced with that, then you can let them go through the sequences without stopping necessarily. So we go through Kinoragare. And we might practice that going back and forth. Go back to you. That way they get a chance to do both sides. Back. There. Okay. Once you have all of that structure into place, then you might start to work on just simple principles. So one principle might be something about just what we call ma'ai. And this is a very simple principle, but it's very important to get used to, especially with weapons, since weapons have a slightly different range. Then you might want to get a feel for what a good ma'ai would be. So if we're a little too close and we're trying to follow each other, obviously this is a little bit too dangerous for us. So we work on just the simple feeling sense of being at a good distance, at a good ma'ai. So now it's difficult to get to him here without advancing, and it would be the same for him. So there. Okay, so we work on just this simple relationship and distance. That would be one example. There could be a lot of different examples that you could do. You could work on sort of spontaneous movement, for example. So if he attacks me with a ski, we use a basic ski, and I just think of or move in such a way that seems spontaneous, but it's relatable to the attack. Okay, so I can just practice doing and creating different responses that seem appropriate and connected to my partner. Okay? These are a few ideas. We have plenty of different practices for this. And so if you have any other ideas about other types of principle practices too, we'd love to hear about that in the comments below. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one.